The seller wanted to sell this home for under $600,000. I told him we needed to talk. I wasn't sure that that was the right move. So we brought in Triangle Appraisal Group to help us determine what was needed. Stay tuned for the results. The owners came to me with wanting a solution. The home had been on the market for 5 months with another agent. They couldn't afford to sell it for what they were being offered. So when they came to me, we ended up turning it into a luxury rental. We were able to rent the home out for $10,000 a month for 6 months. When that 6 months was over and the tenant moved out, they decided they wanted to try again. And I said, well, if we're gonna list it again, we need to have a better plan. So naturally, I called Triangle Appraisal Group because I just suspected that something was off, how it was presented and how it was listed previously. I felt like the house had so much more to give. It was a much more complicated approach to the pricing than what you typically would see because there really wasn't any comps that would fully explain. So I picked up the phone, I called Triangle Appraisal Group, and of course Nathan was so kind as to really just have a conversation with me about what we could look for. So Nathan, tell me about the home and what you saw when you looked up the different comps.
Yeah, well, ultimately it was an over improvement for the neighborhood. You know, there weren't comps for it. It was not matching what the data showed. And with unique properties like that, we have to go down, you know, kind of the rabbit hole and look at, okay, well, what are the surrounding neighborhoods and areas yielding for their sales, and are there comparables out there?
That's very interesting because this is a very well-known neighborhood with a significant number of homes. So it was very interesting to me that you actually chose to go outside the neighborhood because once again, there are a significant amount of homes that have been sold. Some conversations that I've had with some other appraisers was you have to stay within that neighborhood or it doesn't count. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So you have to stay within the neighborhood, of course, but you also have to, if it doesn't fit what is in the neighborhood, you know, for what's there, you know, you have to go out. You know, if you stayed in that neighborhood with that type of house, it was larger, it was nicer. It's considered an over improvement, but what we did was we looked at, you know, what it would compare to outside of the neighborhood, and you know, I recommended to you marketing it towards those other homes, $200,000-$300,000 higher price point.
It was very interesting because I have never considered, especially in this current market, most people say your price is too high and that's why it's not selling. But with Nathan's suggestion, I was actually surprised. It made sense and it helped me to be able to create a strategy that was very unique. His suggestion was, hey, you're attracting the wrong buyer. This particular home was already 6,500 square feet, which was on the larger side of what was available in the neighborhood. But the unique qualifying factor of this home that really made it special was an almost 3,000 square foot unfinished basement. The only homes that had that kind of space potential were new constructions that were 1 mile to 2 miles away. So it was very interesting to me that Nathan suggested, I think you're attracting the wrong buyer. And with that one little suggestion, it sparked an entirely new strategy to get the house sold. And we ended up listing the home for $100,000 more than it was previously listed for. And the thought process behind that was all thanks to Triangle Appraisal Group's initial suggestion of, hey, let's attract a different buyer. We were attracting the buyers whose peak was 1.6 million, but you still have a basement to finish to get that additional value, to bring that home's value over 2 million. So you have to have the money to be able to finish the basement. So why don't we attract the people, the buyers that are looking for those larger homes, that are looking for those finished basements, that are gonna see this home as a steal rather than a stretch. I came to you, we didn't do an official appraisal on this one. It was more of a consultative role. Tell me more about what you do for realtors in that aspect.
Yeah, well, it varies. There's so many different types of unique properties out there and different strategies that you can go about. But that's one thing that we offer is, you know, we're a tool for the realtors. If you are stuck or have questions on what would you do in this situation for an appraisal? From a realtor, you may look at something totally different than we look at. Anyone we've helped is always grateful, of course, and it doesn't always get us an appraisal, that day. We're glad to offer that type of service.